Natural selection spent 4 billion years refining the human species into the ultimate survival machine, only to leave us completely paralyzed because we heard a specific chord progression in a pop song from 12 years ago. It is a hilarious design flaw. A grieving hominid does not hunt. A nostalgic Neanderthal does not forage. An existential dread-ridden Homo sapiens does not reproduce. From a cold, mathematical evolutionary standpoint, these emotional states are absolute biological failures. If natural selection ruthlessly prunes traits that waste energy and reduce survival rates, why are we still cursed with feelings that make us stare blankly at a wall for 3 hours? Biologists call this the adaptation paradox. We are the only animals on Earth that will actively sabotage our own physical safety because of a concept that does not physically exist. There is a hidden chemical tax we pay every single day to keep these bizarre mental processes running, a hidden agenda built into our biology that we will fully expose in the 4th chapter of this investigation. For now, consider the sheer physical cost of your feelings. When you experience a broken heart, your brain activates the anterior insular cortex. This is the exact same region that processes physical pain. Your body releases a massive flood of cortisol and adrenaline. Your blood vessels constrict. Your immune system temporarily degrades. Your ancestors survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and predatory megafauna. Yet a minor social rejection in the modern world triggers the exact same biological panic sequence as a physical attack by a predator. This is not a minor software glitch, it is a massive, system-wide vulnerability that should have been patched out of our genetic code millions of years ago. Instead, as the human brain expanded in size, these useless emotions became more complex, intense, and destructive. The smarter we became, the more efficient we became at producing our own suffering. To understand why our brains are so poorly optimized, we must look at how evolution actually works. It does not design things from scratch. It is a lazy engineer that modifies existing blueprints. In evolutionary biology, there is a concept known as a spandrel. The term comes from architecture. When you build a dome on top of 4 arches, you automatically create triangular spaces between the arches. The builder did not design those spaces on purpose. They are simply an unavoidable structural byproduct of building a dome. The human brain is full of these evolutionary spandrels. Our massive prefrontal cortex evolved to do 3 things extremely well: calculate patterns, predict future outcomes, and maintain social bonds. These 3 functions allowed us to coordinate hunts and survive harsh winters. However, when you combine a highly advanced pattern recognition machine with an obsession over future outcomes, you get a byproduct that evolution never intended. You get existential dread. Your brain calculates the ultimate pattern, which is that you will eventually die. It then tries to predict the outcome of this death, finds no data, and enters a state of perpetual panic. This is not an adaptive trait. It is a structural byproduct of having a brain large enough to plan for next week. The same rule applies to nostalgia. Nostalgia is a malfunction of our memory retrieval system. Our ancestors needed to remember where the dangerous predators lived and where the best fruit trees grew. To make these memories stick, the brain associated them with strong chemical rewards. But our neural pathways are highly interconnected. When you recall a past event, your brain accidentally triggers the chemical reward system associated with that time period, creating a painful longing for a past that no longer exists. We are trapped in a biological feedback loop. Operating a human brain is incredibly expensive. Your brain accounts for only 2% of your total body weight, but it consumes over 20% of your daily metabolic energy. In a state of nature, every single calorie is a matter of life or death. Yet, we routinely burn valuable glucose on emotional states that serve zero physical purpose. Consider the emotion of guilt. Guilt is a biological disaster. It causes chronic stress, raises your blood pressure, disrupts your sleep, and decreases your digestive efficiency. From a purely metabolic standpoint, guilt is an unmitigated waste of resources. Other apex predators do not experience this. A lion does not lie awake at night wondering if it was too harsh on the gazelle it ate for lunch. A chimpanzee does not suffer from chronic depression because it failed to achieve its career goals within the troop. These animals operate on highly efficient, direct feedback loops. They experience fear to escape danger, anger to defend territory, and pleasure to encourage reproduction. Humans, on the other hand, have developed an entirely separate layer of emotional suffering that exists purely in the abstract. We feel shame for things we did years ago. We feel anxiety about events that have a 0% chance of occurring. We even feel empathy for fictional characters in books and movies, shedding real tears and wasting real sodium over entities that do not exist. This metabolic extravagance should have driven our species to extinction. In the brutal logic of natural selection, any organism that wastes 20% of its energy budget feeling sad about imaginary scenarios should lose the survival game to a more efficient competitor. Yet we did not go extinct. We conquered the globe. To understand why this massive energy waste was tolerated, we must look at the hidden mathematical calculations running beneath our social structures. The answer to this evolutionary mystery lies in a branch of mathematics known as game theory. In game theory, there is a classic problem called the commitment problem. If two individuals decide to cooperate, how can they trust each other? In a purely rational world, the smartest move is always to cheat. You let the other person do the hard work, steal their share of the food, and run away. If humans were entirely rational, self-interested survival machines, society would instantly collapse. No one would guard the camp while others slept, because the guard would realize they could save energy by sleeping too. This is where our useless, painful emotions step in as biological encryption keys. Emotions like guilt, shame, and grief are not bugs. They are highly advanced commitment devices. They are designed to be irrational and painful. If you cheat a member of your tribe, you do not just face social consequences. You face an internal chemical torture session. Your brain floods your system with stress hormones, making you physically ill. This internal punishment system is so severe that it forces you to act against your own short-term self-interest. You return the shared meat, you protect the vulnerable, and you honor your agreements. Grief operates under the exact same mathematical logic. Grief is the price we pay for love. If we did not feel intense, debilitating pain when a tribal ally died, we would not value their survival while they were alive. The pain of potential grief forces us to protect our companions at all costs. It is a biological insurance policy. The chemical tax of emotional pain is the only thing that prevents us from betraying each other. We are forced to be cooperative because our own biology will literally torture us if we are not. We successfully solved the commitment problem, built massive civilizations, and insulated ourselves from the raw brutality of nature. But this success has created a cruel historical irony. The very emotional mechanisms that allowed us to survive in small, tight-knit hunter-gatherer clans are now completely incompatible with the hyper-connected, algorithmic world we have built. Our ancestors evolved guilt and shame to keep them aligned with a tribe of 100 people. Today, the internet exposes you to the judgment of 8 billion people simultaneously. Your brain is not equipped to handle this scale of social feedback. When you receive criticism online, your ancient prefrontal cortex does not realize the threat is coming from a stranger thousands of miles away. It treats the event as an immediate expulsion from the tribe, triggering a massive survival-level stress response. Similarly, our capacity for nostalgia has been weaponized by consumer capitalism. Corporations analyze your biological longing for the past and package it back to you in the form of media reboots, retro aesthetic products, and targeted advertising. We are constantly paying a financial premium to temporarily soothe a biological malfunction. Even our capacity for existential dread has been monetized. Algorithms feed on your survival-based anxiety, serving you a constant stream of worst-case scenarios to keep your attention locked to a screen. The ultimate payoff of human evolution is that our greatest survival tools have become our primary sources of misery. We built a world of unparalleled comfort and safety, only to find ourselves trapped inside it with an ancient, paranoid brain that is constantly searching for a threat. We no longer have to worry about being eaten by wolves, so we spend our nights lying awake, tortured by the memory of an awkward conversation we had in high school.